Along with the Gospel of Thomas, this beautiful Coptic museum houses the only copy of the Gospel of Philip. Now this is an explosive document, if you believe the hype, because of what it tells us about Jesus' girlfriend.
The Gospel of Philip is one of numerous leather-bound books discovered in 1945 near the Egyptian town of Nag Hammadi. No one actually thinks Jesus' disciple Philip wrote the thing. This name appears to have been added to the text to lend weight to its ideas. This is the text, the only one, from which people have extracted the idea that Jesus married Mary Magdalene and had children with her. It all comes down to a couple of lines.
The Saviour loved Mary Magdalene more than all the disciples and kissed her on her mouth often. The other disciples said to him, "Why do you love her more than all of us?" The Saviour answered and said to them, "Why do I not love you like her?"
Because the manuscript is a little damaged, as you can see here, we're not exactly sure what was in the original. For instance, where it says Jesus kissed Mary on the mouth, this is a bit of guesswork, since just where the word mouth might have been, there's a lot of damage. Jesus may have kissed Mary on the cheek, or the hand, or the big toe, for all we know.
What's more disappointing for those of us who quite like the idea of Jesus the romantic is that the kiss mentioned here is almost certainly religious, since kissing fellow believers was a custom in the ancient world.
The point of this 2nd or 3rd century text is not that Mary is the ideal wife or girlfriend, it's that she is the ideal disciple to whom the other disciples should aspire.
But of course, even that assumes the Gospel of Philip records reliable historical information. And most experts say that is very unlikely. Being written at least 150 years after Jesus, mainstream historians read this Gospel and the other Gnostic Gospels not as sources of information about Jesus himself, but as windows into the beliefs of some 2nd and 3rd century Christian splinter groups.
This is the final page of the Gospel of Thomas, and the final paragraph basically says that any woman who wants to enter the kingdom of heaven must become a male, which is not terribly good news and gives you an indication of the difference between Gnostic beliefs and the beliefs of the Orthodox Christians.
In other words, in terms of our quest for the Christ files, the Gnostic Gospels aren't as helpful as we might have hoped. But there are some slightly earlier sources that do prove helpful.